Okay, so this is the illusion that we're headed for. And I thought I'd just do a real-time video of me making this one. So I did this one as a test. It's like an square inch. Let's see. It's inch and a half square. It's pretty tiny to work that small. I think this one is probably going to be laborious because it's larger. Let's see how big that one is. It's 3 1/4 maybe, something like that. Probably a 2-inch one would be better, but I don't feel like cutting it, so I'm going to have to draw it larger. So anyway, that's what we're headed for. And I'm following a tutorial by Zentangle on YouTube, and the actual Tangle is by somebody called Brella by Bunny Wright. So I guess I could write that here. Ooh, dusty. Zentangle, Tangle, Brella. There we go. I have this on double zoom, 2x zoom, so that's gonna have to do. Let's see. I can do it like this. Okay, so the first thing that happens with these is you either make yourself, wait a minute, I gotta pause this a second. I think I can pause. I have to give dog biscuits. Keep him busy. Okay, so the first thing that a lot of people do is take a pencil and draw and make points in the corners. I just go freehand and make sure that what I'm looking for is to be at a certain distance across the way from here, and I often go down or up or whatever, but the idea is to generally, so I'm starting sort of in the corner, and I'm just generally making my way across the page until it's about I don't know, what is that, 1/4 of an inch, or maybe a little bit more. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. Just sort of make my way. Now see, I dipped. I don't care. It's not even all the way. Oops. It's not even all the way, but it'll do, right? Here, I'm going to take this out of the frame for the moment. And then, so do the third side. Just watching that the distance is similar. And this one's not up far enough to meet this one, so I'm going to need to go up a little bit more. And then generally across, aiming for the top of the other one. Okay. The next step on this one is to draw 2 lines this way and 2 lines this way, like a checkerboard. So I'm going to, what I do is make myself some little dots, so I know kind of that it's generally 3 parts, and I don't worry on this end. So I'm just gonna, again, let my hand slide, like contact with the paper, and I'm just gonna let my point and drag my hand and let the pen drag too. So I'm stabilizing with the surface of the paper, surface of the table. So if you're working larger, it makes it a lot harder. The larger you work, the harder it is to get everything kind of, you know, you have a lot longer distance to travel for the lines. So again, I'm starting at this point and I'm just dragging my hand straight towards me, like moving my elbow, like my elbow is doing the work, not my hand. I'll do the same thing in this direction. Now they're not perfectly square, and I don't care, because if you persist through to the design, it's still, like this one also had some really wonky stuff going on, but it doesn't, the design doesn't suffer for it unless, you know, so like this one here does not meet the corner here, but it doesn't matter in the end because the design, would it be better if it had, you know, perfect angles and whatever? I don't know. Okay, so again, I'm going to mark kind of generally where, like in thirds, and then I'm going to let my elbow drag the pen. Hand on the paper, hand on the surface, pen at an angle that I can drag it, and then I'm going to move my elbow to bring the pen down. Elbow, bring the pen down. Okay, do I have perfect squares? No, I do not, and that's okay. So the next step in this one is to, okay, the next step is to draw diagonal lines. Oops, I'm looking at the tutorial on the other screen. I can actually put the link to that one, to Zen Lineas, in the description for this. So then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to drag from this corner to this corner. So I'm just going to square everything up and again drag my hand with my elbow, like I'm just dragging my elbow back, and I'm aiming for the corners of these boxes. So it's not just one long drag, I'm like literally dragging to here and then dragging to here and then dragging to here. So I'm gonna drag my pen, drag my pen, drag my pen. I'll probably turn it to do the other side because otherwise you end up with your hands smudging everything. I'm dragging my pen, paying attention to the corners. And each of these lines is like its own new little project. So like you can, it's really easy, I find, to get sort of like zoned out and like just start making lines, and then that's when things do not go, like for me anyway, when things don't go well. So now we're going to do the bottom, basically the bottom. If you turn it this way, we're going to do the bottom of each of these squares, the bottom triangle in each of these squares. We're going to make lines across this way. And don't worry if they're not perfect. The idea is to just lay them in there and not be impatient to be done, I think is kind of the big secret. So I'm doing all the ones across this way, across, like, again, it's a checkerboard, I mean a tic-tac-toe board, checkerboard type of thing. I'm trying to stay somewhat parallel to this original one. So if I go crazy, like if one of these goes like sideways, I'm still gonna go back to being parallel, not try and match the one before. I just want to be parallel. Now I'm going to do the bottom of this one. Oop, getting a little wonky there. Straighten up, Andrea. I'm going to do the bottom of the next row, bottom triangle of the next row. They don't all have to match. My lines are not all straight. That one's a little distant. I'm going to squeeze one in between so that it visually looks more together. Biting my tongue while I do this. Okay. See, and I'm improving as I go, which again, it's not going to be, I'm getting distracted by a dog again. He wants to go for a walk. It's just what it turns out. You know, it's going to have its own character across the thing because I'm changing as I'm doing. See, I'm now getting off parallel again, so I'm going to straighten it up. the third box on the second row. That might be too close. I'm just making lines as parallel to that first one as I can. And stopping at the edges is always a trick for me, but you can make the outer edge darker later and like thicken up where those are. Okay, now this is the third row of boxes. If going this way doesn't work for you, go the other way. And this is not a drag so much as a, like, I'm still securing my hand by the table, but I'm like, this is the drag with my hand instead of, so my, oh, actually this is better. Don't go down from up. Watch the video first. Yeah, actually this is better. Okay, so I was making it a lot harder for myself. But this is the stuff, this is, so I have a 1-3 profile in human design, if that means anything to you, and I am completely trial and error in my experience, and I learn as I go. Yeah, top to bottom is easier. So this is the second box on the third row. This is the third box on the third row. And again, it's really easy to, oops, get a little close there. That one's straighter, so this one is more in line with that. I'm just correcting, course correcting as I go. It's just not, I think the trick probably in this is to not continue to try and match the line before, but to stay again parallel to that original one. Oops, I have a big space there. I'm gonna slide a little thing in there. Okay, so is this one clearly different from this one? Yeah, doesn't matter. So the next step of this one is to, hold on, I'm watching her video again. The next step, I think, is to draw a line this way. So we're going to put it so that the triangles of the boxes are on the top half, yeah, and then the empty ones are on the bottom half. So we're going to try and draw basically not this part of the line diagonally, but only the bottom part of that line, and make it kind of triple thick. So I'm drawing down the middle and then kind of up and down both sides. So I want to kind of stay in line with this. So again, it's going to be not this part of the line, but the bottom part that goes to the, we're going to go to the corner as if, pretend this one was drawn, and then just draw the rest of it. And draw it kind of double, triple thick. And this one's all kinds of off kilter. So what I would do with this one, I think, is stick to this line instead of trying to hit the corner. I'm going to stick to this line because that's going to be part of our design. So see here where I didn't, you can see here where I didn't hit the corner. It doesn't matter for the design. So I'm getting out of the picture here, and okay, so we're doing like this, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go try and hit the corner, double thick, try and hit the corner. Okay, this one, again, I'm going to stay in line with this line instead of worrying about the corner as much here. So I want to go kind of inch there, but that's as far as I can get and stay in line with that one. This one, I'm going to go straight to the corner. This one, going to aim for the corner. This one I'm going to stay more in line with that, but this one will go to the corner because the lines were straight. last one. Okay, so that's the next step. Then I think we do lines this way. I'm just watching. Yeah, the lines now go, oopsie, messed up my replay. The lines now, we're just going to make lines that go parallel to these center lines. Now if you were doing embroidery, you would do this side and then this side and then this side and then this side, so that you got even spaced. Might make sense to do that in these two, but I'm not doing it. I'm just making lines. Yeah, I think the thing with this is to be like as intentional as you can be with the start and the stop. So see, I was just talking and I didn't, so I just want to make sure I start and stop at the boundary lines here, because again, we're looking for that illusion at the end is the goal. So right now it looks like nonsense, right? It just looks like it's the so the part of this gal's thing is to work on brown paper, this gal, and I don't have the right brown paper still, but it does make all the difference. Oh, I guess I could show you the tools that I'm using too. So I'm using a 0.3 for this one. I used a 0.1 on this because it's so tiny, and then I used a 0.3 on this because it just covers more ground more easily. This is going to be an HB. It happens to be a mechanical pencil, but it's just, I think it's an HB pencil, so any pencil. A white charcoal pencil, and a couple of smudgy things. You can use Q-tips. They're a little bit less precise, and so if you can get you can even wind paper. These are called, I forget what these are called. Sorry, I don't know. It doesn't say. Wait, I might have it. These are called, they're called blending stumps. They have another name too. Anyway, continuing with the lines here, I just want to make sure that I'm starting and stopping on and staying parallel-ish to the first main line is the goal here. This shade, there's like a shadow here. I don't want to, yeah. Then I'm all over the map. I probably should start on that side and work this way since I'm right-handed. I guess if you were left-handed, you'd do the opposite. But I think part of the thing with these is to not judge them before you're finished, because right now it looks like entire chaos, doesn't it? To me it does. And you can't prejudge these lines. You just have to do the things that it's the illusion is the goal here. So I'm just trying to do this little section parallel to that line, and these are the pieces that come together to make the illusion. And is it tedious? Well, yes it is. Is it worth it? I don't know. That's for you to judge of your own time and energy. I personally am really pleased by visual illusion on paper. So somehow and I don't even, these happen to match up to these lines. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to stay parallel. Me personally, having like, there's like some kind of like amazement that I just did that and that it looks like that, and how did that happen? I don't actually know. I just know that I was there for it, for the process. So anyway, so that makes it worth it to me to do. This one's probably larger than I would choose. This one is probably smaller than I would choose. So for this particular one with these multiple same line, same line, same line. It doesn't like give me joy to be doing these lines. But the illusion is the prize for me. Okay, let's get this next one. So again, we're just going to go through all of these quarter triangles and make parallel lines. It matters if you meet the edges. You just really want to, I'm already getting sloppy. Just really want to take a little time to make sure you start and stop and go parallel to the original line as best you can. If it goes a little wonky, just persist, because all of these things that feel like mistakes are probably not going to matter as much as you imagine. So it gets a little trickier when you're trying to do like curved lines in a particular direction, like trying to figure out which way to like connect your head to your hand. And that can visually look different, but you'll see, I don't even know because this is only the second time I'm doing this, that at the end, all of the things that look like crap when you're doing it at this moment actually don't affect the illusion, which is what is the point. Okay, paying attention, because again, my mind can completely wander. See, this is people do these like on YouTube, it's like relaxing video, let your mind whatever, blah blah blah. It is total work for me. It's not a relaxing thing. It's an effort, but it's one that I appreciate the outcome of, so I do it. And we're doing parallel lines. I feel like what's his name? The guy with the afro. I can't think of his name. I'm gonna make pretty little trees here in the corner. Okay, parallel. This is just like this. And okay, so human design people, my 1648 also totally has energy for this. It is a repetitive practicing channel over time. But I'm still heavy sighing, because I'm not done with these squares yet. Again, work smaller. If you're having trouble with finishing things, or if you're having trouble like feeling like it, you get it. I get exhausted with larger pieces. So if you're feeling like impatient to be done or tired because it's not finished yet, try something smaller. I do the same thing. So right now I'm doing a video challenge. I might include this in my video. I keep calling video challenge by mistake. It's a sprint. I call them sprints in my head. Challenge is like the word that most people use. This one is a video sprint. The idea is to make several smaller works so that you begin to have your library, or in this case gallery of work, to or portfolio or whatever collection of work to see your progress, see your own progress. If you work on bigger stuff, if you end up hating the thing at the end, you have wasted a lot of time. You've spent a lot of time and energy, and it's really easy to get discouraged. So I encourage people, when we're doing video sprints or learning video or even making content, because people have short time frames that they have available to them. Of course, this one is already 25 minutes long, and it's not going to be reflective of this, but shorter is better, generally speaking, for people and for us too. I'm just going to move this out of the frame so I can keep this in the middle. Okay. But you hear what I'm saying? So like 1 minute video, 2 minute video, 3 minute video helps us be succinct. And in this case, smaller pieces of art helps us be smaller in our mistakes, maybe is the way to think of it. But the idea is to be able to have bodies of work that exist so you can see it, instead of having one piece of art that you work on for 15 weeks, and then at the end of those 15 weeks you actually don't like the thing. So why not do it so that you have this smaller chunks, and for me, practice different kinds of things. Anyway, that's my approach. Okay, now we're going to use the white pencil, I believe. I'm just going to look at the tutorial again. So her tutorial is 1.5 minutes long. She did it, I have to sneeze. Sorry. I'm not going to edit this either because I don't do much editing. Laughing over here. I don't do editing either because it takes up time that I don't want to spend. Okay, so the next piece, oh, my nose is really itchy. And I don't have this camera doesn't pause, it just stops, and I have to piece things together. I don't want to do that either. So you get what you get here. Okay. Yeah, so the next piece is more dog biscuits. 1 second. Okay, the next piece is we're going to look at it differently now. So we had been looking at it this way, then we were looking at it this way. Now we're going to keep it this direction. We're going to take the white charcoal pencil and we're going to look at it in, we're going to do the corner of the bottom half of the dark line, and like a little bit into this, not, maybe it is all half of this one, I don't know because my lines are, anyway, about like an even V starting here, and then just sort of like fill in some of that so you'll have some charcoal to spread around. Maybe it's halfway on both. Okay, so I'm going to go down the dark line. This is the part I like better, actually. The shading part is very satisfying. Gonna go down the dark line, but here we don't have the other part, so we're just gonna go like that. Sort of fill in to make the V part. So we're ultimately looking for sort of a V shape here. So we're down the dark line, halfway down the dark line, about the same amount up. We're just gonna like do like that. Okay, and then on this part we don't have the dark line would be here, so we're just gonna do like a little bit here, like that, like that, and then here we're going to go down the dark line again, schmutz, schmutz, schmutz. I'm just trying to get some of this charcoal in there because we're going to spread it around, blend it in. That way, and sort of fill it in. And this one just has this part. Okay, then we're going to blend that part. So we take I have to have, I need two. One is for white and one is for black. And I'm just going to blend like that. Just blend along the edge and add a little bit. Just blending a little bit in. Okay, now the next piece of this, and actually this is the last piece, is to take this, a soft pencil. We're going to go on the outside, across the top of this darkest line, on the outside of this, the one that goes this way. So we're going to make a, basically sort of smudge along here on each of these. And so, look, it still looks kind of crazy. I mean, it's not as crazy, but it still looks kind of crazy. Watch when the black gets done. So we're just making a line, like a dark line for blending along the outside of this triangle across the top of this black line on each of these. So I didn't do it here yet. Here, all the way across this top one, but not inside of this triangle, outside of that triangle on the right, on the left, sorry. I'm going across this, making like a T with those thingies. How's this look? Off the camera again. This is the third time I've made one of these watch me art things. And I'm seeing that I want to make this a little more. Okay, so I'm going to take the one for the black, which happens to be tiny. And you just want to push. I just sort of do like this, like it looks circles across the way. And I'm not going that way. I'm trying to stay like on this side of that line. I'm just blending to the right. Blending to the right. And I'm going to turn it because this will spread around if you work on top of it with your hand. So I'm going to go use both of these this way. So I'm gonna, I can see this, but the point is to stay on the, in this case now, on the left of that line. This one too. See, I went out here a little bit. I might tend to take a little bit of an eraser just to clean that up. And it's, now see, now I can see that the white is not right at this point. The white can be more nuanced, I guess you'd call it. I'm taking the white one, I'm blending it more, less harsh. Anyway, that's the gist. You see how the white could be, I feel like the white could go even further along the edge. But anyway, you get the, here's the illusion. Suddenly it looks like a thing. Where, you know, 2 minutes ago or whatever, probably more like 15. Yeah, I'm gonna make it more further along the edge of this. White one. There we go. Yeah. What do you think? See the illusion now? Where, you know, the last right before we started doing the shading, it looked like doo-doo, basically. Okay, see, maybe that helps you get through some of these. It takes a while to be able to see it at different angles. Like it's like every time you turn the thing, you have to reorient on what is it that you're trying to look at, because trying to look at the whole thing does no good until it's completely done. So let's see what happens next, huh? Okay.